Hi, thanks for coming. I get approached by people all the time who tell me, I think family history is important, I really want to be a part of it, but I don't love the research aspect. So is there anything that I can do to be involved in family history without actually doing the research? And my answer is yes. And the number one thing that I recommend is getting involved in indexing. So let's explore what is indexing, how do you do it, and I will even walk you through how to get started with indexing so that you can do indexing today. If you have never heard of indexing before, let me explain a little bit about what indexing is. It is the process of taking records that have been digitized and extracting important information like names and dates and places. This makes it so that we can search records that we haven't been able to search before. So when you search a website like FamilySearch or Ancestry and you type in your ancestors' names and records come up, those records come up because they've been indexed. There are thousands of records, though, that have yet to be indexed. And the more we index, the more likely we are to find our ancestor in various kinds of records. So let's get started exploring the FamilySearch website, and I will take you on a tour of how to begin indexing.
Okay, the first thing that you want to do is log into your free FamilySearch account. If you have not set up an account with FamilySearch, I am going to include the link for FamilySearch's video instructions on how to set up an account for free with FamilySearch. After you've logged in, you'll see that there are a lot of drop-down menus at the top. Make sure you click on Indexing, and let's go to the Overview. And this is the main page that tells you about some of the projects that they have and the importance of indexing, and you can find those resources on this page. Another page to be aware of is the help resources, especially if you are just getting started and you have never done indexing and have some questions. They have some great resources for people who are starting. If you're wanting to be an indexer, you should click on the indexing menu, and guided tour is one of the best ways to learn about indexing because you're actually practicing on an example project. So you can start your tour and it will lead you through a series of steps in indexing this sample image. So you'll answer questions like, should this image be indexed? And it will give you some guidance on how to answer that. Then you actually get to practice. So it will ask you to type in the given names, for example, on this. So the given names are the first and the middle names. So don't forget that, because if you do and you just type in Holmes for the first name, you'll get a little more guidance and you'll be asked to double check the information. It will even show you the answer to help you in your learning. So FamilySearch wants as many records digitized and indexed as they can get, and they want it done right. And so they are so great at guiding you through this process. So let's just quickly go through this example. We'll type in Quincy. The surname is Miller. You can find that here in the document. Then it asks about the residence town. So this is Savannah, and the county is Chatham. And then the resident state. So they will have different instructions for different places for you to fill out. So one common exception to the type what you see rule is when place names are abbreviated. So click the question mark to learn how to index Georgia. So this tells us to type the resident state that was recorded. Do not correct spelling or expand abbreviations. Do not index punctuation, except hyphens and apostrophes. Occasionally, the residence, county, and state were written out of order. Be careful to index the places of residence in the correct field. So you can follow the instructions here that say do not correct spelling or expand abbreviations. So you would simply put GA, no punctuation. Birth month, make sure that you are looking at this information here. And it is July 17th, 1900 is the birth date. So July 17th. Birth year is 1900. Birth town or county is Spencer. And it was in North Carolina. And then if there's another page, you would add a second entry. This one only has one though. So you can just go ahead and submit your batch. They will check for quality and let us know that there were no issues, and then we can submit. And that is how you would index your first batch. So let's go to web indexing and find a batch of our own. So if you want to find batches, you can just click here. If you're just starting out, it's a good idea to look for some beginner batches to work on. Let's see, here we've got some New York County naturalization records. You can just click Start. It will give you some information on the project that is specific for what you will be indexing. So each batch contains up to 10 images. So that's important to keep in mind if you're adding images before you submit your entire batch. So this will give you instructions. Make sure that you read through those. And it will ask you if these images should be indexed. So this is basically how you get started with indexing. And indexing is a great way for you to contribute to the genealogy community by helping make these records more accessible to everyone. So rather than sorting through all hundreds, thousands of digitized images page by page, you are working to create this index that is so helpful for people who are researching their family history. And so I hope that you have a great time when you do your indexing. You can find a lot of interesting information as you do that. So if you do come across something interesting, please feel free to share that in the comments below and share some of your experiences. And happy discovering!